Welcome to A Walk in My Stilettos, where our goal is to help you walk in your greatness. I'm your host, Makini Smith. The purpose of this show is to inspire you to walk in your greatness. We have conversations with amazing women that are letting us take a step into their stilettos. I get inspired when I see another woman succeeding, but what inspires me more is her backstory and her mindset on how she got there. Today's guest is about to bless us with her testimony, and since you're already here, you may as well subscribe. So today we have Marina Simone. She is a mother, a wife, the CEO and founder of Moms in Heels, where she teaches busy moms how to slay online sales by leveraging their personal brand on social media to build an online empire from home where pants are optional. Please welcome to the show, Marina.
Hey. So stoked and pumped
Hey,
to be here.
thank you so much for agreeing to come on and to share your story with us.
Oh my gosh, I'm honored. I'm actually so excited. It's like so empowering and exciting to know there's other women out there that are just as passionate as I am, first about high heels, but second, just to empower other women and make an impact. I'm just grateful. I'm honored, and I'm just really excited to share my story.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love the power of social media because, there's so many people that look at social media negatively, but that's what they choose to take from it. And I
Mm-hmm.
have made so many amazing connections from social media that I've taken
Mm-hmm.
offline. So I love connecting with women like yourself. Like you said, we're on the same path, we're in the same mindset, both stiletto lovers and are empowering other women to be able to do what it is that they love and to build an empire. So thank you so much, Marina, for agreeing to come on and share with us.
Well, I just have to give you some props really quickly before we get into like putting, my story out there. I mean, the fact that you've been so vulnerable to do what you do for other women, like it just makes me so happy, and not only that, the fact that you reached out and the fact that you didn't have that fear of asking me and connecting with me. Like, I'm just grateful. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I know we're going to impact some people with this episode.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. One thing that I love to start the show with is an icebreaker because as women, we have so many titles, so many hats that we wear, moms, wives, empire builders. But a title that I think doesn't get enough recognition is our name because our names have meaning and we're called this so many times a day. So people are literally like declaring the meaning to us, over and
Mm.
over again every single day. And some women know and some women don't. So if you don't have the answer, it's not a problem. I may have the answer for you. But my first question to
Cool.
you is, do you know what your name means?
So I know that it has to do with water, right? So marina, it's like where you
Mm-hmm.
park your boat, like a sailfish marina. But it's actually a funny, quick story. My name was actually going to be Simone.
Mm.
Yes, it's my last name, but my mom wanted so bad to name me Simone. And I feel as if my personality is really based off of my last name and not my first, because
Oh,
I
wow.
don't like the water. How about that? Like, I am terrified of the ocean and what's in it, and I'm not a boat person and I get sick on a cruise. But Simone just has that fearless kind of feeling. And I actually gave my daughter, my firstborn, her middle name is Simone. So fierce, blossom, and free. Like, that's where my branding came from, is
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother, whose last name is Simone. So I don't know if that's the meaning, but it's what I feel like the meaning should be.
Wow, wow, I love it. Well, I had Googled marina, and it means
Ooh.
from the sea. And you said you feel like your name should have been Simone, and Simone means herd.
Oh, look at that.
Interesting, very interesting.
Ooh, very interesting. I'm going to have to use that down the road.
There you go, there you go. So okay, so I wanted to just speak to me, which is the obvious based on me following online and what I see because you've been documenting your journey. Like you just had your second child a few weeks ago. You are like
Yeah.
a boss mom. So are you currently working your business or are you in time off mode?
You know, time off, the type of personality that I'm a very red, right? Like, I'm a very driven red personality. And for me, taking time off, I think, gives me more anxiety than actually working my business. But My business coach was like, if you don't take time off, I'm going to definitely, punish you. But so no, I'm not in time off mode. However, I am in priority mode, right?
Yeah.
What is the biggest priority in my business that I absolutely don't want to stop doing, that gives me joy, that brings me joy, and that
Mm-hmm.
isn't just about a paycheck, but is more about the impact. So to answer your question, I'm definitely not in time off mode. I'm still creating content because I feel like where I'm at right now is the most important part of my journey as being a mom and my
Mm-hmm.
audience's mom,
Mm-hmm.
of the struggle of, hey, I'm building a business. I'm a brand new mom all over again because my oldest is 9, right?
Wow.
She's about to be 9 years old. So I started all over again. This was not the right time. I did air quotes. I know you guys can't see that, but I just did air quotes. God has a sense of humor, and God had a plan,
Yes.
not mine,
Yes.
but his, right? When I got pregnant right before, I was planning events for my healers, events for my brand, events for my business, events, and I'm scaling my business up. And then boom, we find out I'm pregnant, right? So
Mm-hmm.
all of the things I was supposed to do in 2019, I'll be doing in 2020, unless God has a sense of humor again. Um, so, it's been of just prioritizing. What are the things that are going to bring me joy? And I really made sure during my pregnancy that I automated a lot of my things so my income I wouldn't feel the effect on my income, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
But when you love what you do, could you ever stop doing it? I guess is my moment, right? Like it's just kind of like, I don't work in a cubicle. I went from a cubicle to a throne, in my opinion. It's like, step off the throne to be a mom, absolutely, but I don't want to ever be away from that throne for too long because I want to help more women get on theirs, right?
Right. Totally. Totally understand. It's funny you say that. Like I I had major surgery in February and I was supposed to be off for 6 to 8 weeks. And during that time, I
Mhm.
was looking at everything I could do from my laptop in the bed. And
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
the bed, I'm coaching virtually. From the bed, I'm recording
Yep.
podcasts. Like
I love it. When
yeah.
you love what you do, it's not taking time off. This isn't like a 9 to 5 where we're allergic to our bosses and they give us agita and they make us like want to scratch our faces off, right? I mean, we're doing work that is
Yes.
impactful with purpose, right? I mean, listen, I was documenting the whole time I was in labor. I don't know if you saw that on my
Listen,
Instagram stories.
you're
Like,
you're a boss because you documented your whole pregnancy. Like all your pictures are on your Instagram. I'm still getting your newsletters, right? Like I think they come in like every other day. I'm like, this girl's a boss. Like
it's fun. It's so much fun. But again, I do like the weekends. I've definitely cut it down to the weekends. I don't start working my business until 12 noon,
hmm
and then I'm done at like 6 or 7. Now, social media for me isn't really work. I mean, I love connecting and having, and doing that
hmm
social media stuff. So for me, that's not even, I don't even count that as work. But yeah, prioritizing. It's important as a mom for sure.
So, do you have any form of schedule or formula that works for you in terms of how you balance being a mom of two, a wife, and a business owner?
Well, first and foremost, I have to say when I first started working my online business, it was just me. I was actually a single mom. My husband and I were not together. So when
hmm
I first started working my online business, it was me and my daughter, and I was working a full-time job. So that was really difficult finding the nooks and crannies to build my online business because I know a lot of women that are out there still working full-time jobs while they're trying to get out of that life. And so it was super important for me to find the time and to actually build my business. So back then it was, when is she sleeping? Wake up an hour earlier from her, go to bed an hour later.
hmm
15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I didn't have money to pay for babysitters, so I couldn't do that. I would go to the park with her and watch her, or we'd be at the pool, when my mom would go. So then I could be like, okay, mom, you're going to be in the pool with her for 30 minutes. Can I do something for 30 minutes? Right. So
Right.
that was hard. That was really hard. I have to admit that. Now that my husband and I are together, and I mean, it's been, I don't know, like 7 years now of us, it was a struggle in the beginning because it was like, okay, he wants, you got to be a wife, you got to be a mom. You don't want to
hmm
ignore your family. So it was setting a timer every time I'm working my business on purpose. Am
hmm
I on social media? I time myself. Like I pull out a timer
I
because
love
otherwise
that
you can get
because
lost.
it's
You can
easy
get
to get
lost.
lost. Yeah. Yep.
So easy. It's this video, then you're that video, then you get an idea, then you're writing it down, then you're trying to implement that idea, but then you see another one, and then I'm ADD. I don't know if you could tell. So like I was all over the place. Even if I had a set schedule of like this is the hour I'm going to work my business, I need to set a timer so I don't go over and I'm not under.
Right.
Committing to my time has been important, but also remembering that you can never get time back. You can always make more money, but you can never get moments back in your life with your children, moments with your spouse, moments with your family. Creating more memories to me is more important than making more money. That to me is like, you know, the prioritizing and timing out the time that I work is kind of like my DMO.
I'm gonna have to add that to my schedule. Like I do set a timer for my downtime in the day. You
Mm,
know, if I need, whether it's sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 25, but I do set a
yeah.
timer. But I think your formula, it's more intentional. We're saying, okay, I'm going to set an hour to be focusing, so you're
Yes.
not doing less. Or yeah, I love that. I love that.
It's been so impactful just because it makes the quality of your content better.
Yes, because you're being more intentional.
Yeah.
So how did you get into direct sales?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was back in 2012, I was introduced by an old friend of mine from high school on Facebook Messenger, and he spammed me. I mean, it was like, hey, watch this video. This magic pill can do X. And I remember when I opened the message, and this is back in 2012, so there was nobody even was using Facebook Messenger yet, really. So it was kind of funny that how I got it. But I had clicked on it, and that was just because I was like, wow, I haven't heard from him in forever. What does he really want? What's this video? Like, I was not being a nice person when I clicked on the video.
Hmm.
But I watched the video, and I will say this. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and I was the right person because I hated my job. I was allergic to my boss. I had missed my daughter take her first steps because she was, you know, with a nanny at daycare.
Hmm.
And I was working to pay the daycare. I was broke, like that single mom. It was just horrible moments, right? Creating those
Hmm.
more moments and memories. I couldn't do that. I was working overtime. I was stuck in a cubicle with like 3 laptops and computers on my desk. It was just horrible. So it didn't matter what video I think he sent me at the time. It could have been something that was horrible. I saw opportunity,
Hmm.
and you know, in any kind of online business space, whether it's network marketing, whether it's affiliate marketing, whether it's creating your own brand, whether it's selling ice cream out of an ice cream truck, if you have that moment, and they talk about this in the book E-Myth, it's like all of a sudden you have that moment where you get so fed up with the life that you're living or the job that you have, or in that moment, it's like all of a sudden our brain starts to switch into the entrepreneur mindset.
Hmm.
Not to say we're entrepreneurs just yet at that moment, but I started getting a taste of why am I building my boss's dream when I can build my own? And I started to get resentful towards my boss. And
Right.
I was like, can I do this? So he had to stalk me for like 4 months though, because after our first initial conversation, I kept avoiding him. I didn't have the money to get started. So I had to look for it. I had to save it up. Right. So that's how I got introduced to network marketing. Before that, I never really understood what it was. And then I fell in love with it. Once I joined in 2012, I fell in love with it, but I was broke. I didn't make any money for my first 2 years in the industry, but now it's a different story, obviously.
Okay, so what is your success story in network marketing? Because I know that you were able to build an organization of like 20,000 customers and distributors in less than 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, social media, right? So, you know, the first 2 years, I think it was a couple of reasons why I didn't have success. And I don't want to say, you know what, I got to rewind that. Not that I didn't have success, I was learning. And I'm hard headed. So I wasn't necessarily listening to mentors. I don't think I was in alignment with the company I had chose. And I was still learning, right? It was just a
Hmm.
learning process. And I wanted the instant gratification. And when you invest in a business, there's always not a return right away.
Right.
And especially in network marketing, it's a learning curve. It's a learning process. So that was a big piece of it. The other piece was this wasn't an online model in the first company I had joined. So you got to picture this, right? I'm a busy mom. I'm working 40 plus hours a week. I'm a single mom at the time.
Hmm.
I have my daughter in daycare. She was colic and acid reflux. Let's just keep this clear. And my firstborn is very determined to get what she wants. Like she's super smart. And, I was trying to figure all that out as a new mom. And the only way to build this business was getting on the phone, doing 3-way phone calls, talking to random strangers at the gas station, and having to do hotel meetings. And that for a mom is so unattractive.
Yeah.
We're just trying to breathe and not smell like throw up every day and try to look decent when we walk out of the house, right?
Right.
And I didn't have anybody in my family that was supportive, right? I mean, I'm sure some women and moms are going through that right now, where you just are like, yeah, my family's not supportive of my online business. Yeah, I've been there. My mom still doesn't get it. I make a lot of money with it, right? So I think that I wasn't in alignment. I didn't have that I want to make an impact right there. It was just about I need to make money. But it transitioned. In 2014, I found a company that I could build online, and I started creating systems that would duplicate into my organization. And I just started pounding out on social media. And I started connecting with women who felt the same way that I did, who, wanted to get away from their bosses. And within 90 days, I had created a 6-figure income online.
So, okay, speaking of social media, I get spammed all the time with women in my DMs asking me to join their network marketing business. And you go to their page and it's all promo ads of their
Ugh,
product.
yeah,
Right?
I know.
We all know that's
I
a
know.
turn off.
I'm trying to help them as quickly as I can. Okay. I'm trying. Yeah.
So I want you to speak to the women out there that are listening that are like, okay, I want to get into
Yeah.
network marketing, but I don't want to spam people. Like, what
I don't
are
want to be
3
that girl.
things?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What are 3 things that you did on social media to help you build
Yeah.
that wasn't spam oriented?
So I just want to say this really quickly. Spammy Tammy is not going to win a Grammy. And I just want to make that perfectly clear. And I am hashtag guilty. I was that spammy person at one point for the first 2 years, calling my friends that I hadn't talked to in like 10 years and asking if they were open to a business opportunity. There's a time and a place for that, but you don't have to be that girl that walks around with a shaker bottle. You don't have to be that makeup girl. You don't have to be, the nail art girl. You don't have to be the weight loss girl. You don't have to be that mom or woman. You can be whoever you want to be. In fact, stories sell, which we all know this. Your story is going to make you more sales than that product image, than that logo, than anything like that. So number 1 is find your story, know your story, tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so underutilized in any industry, in my opinion. I mean, brands, small businesses, the pest control guy. Like, what's the story?
Right.
What's the story? What's the why behind the impact and why behind why you joined? And there's, I'm not going to get into a full-blown training on it, but at the end of the day, when I tell my story, more people are attracted to me and want to know what I do. What toothpaste do I use? What lipstick am I wearing? What is it that I use? If they see, the shaker bottle in the background, what's in that shake? If they see me squeezing, my one product into my coffee, what is that? They're going to ask you. Mm-hmm. And so the attraction marketing piece is number 2. Learn how to attract people to who you are by sharing your life with them, right? Like, what are those snippets of your life? Like, I call it making that eye contact. So you're literally creating an Instagram bio that makes people want to click. You're telling people, you're telling women, you're telling your tribe what it is you're going to change for them, or what it is you're going to help them change. What is that mission statement? So the attraction marketing piece of it is huge. Mm-hmm. And then the third piece is really going to be the complement and connect. So in network marketing, I think where a lot of people, there's that misconception or the myth is that, you have to be an influencer on social media to use social media to be successful in network marketing. So not true. I had no influence. I'm sure we'll get deeper into that conversation that we'll have, after this piece of it, but you don't have to be. You can know no one and be successful in network marketing. But the part that people drop off is the networking part. They want to stay in the marketing. They want to stay in the attraction marketing. They want to stay in, I want to market and hope people come to me. You have to network. And this is where number 3 is complement and connect. Mm-hmm. You need to go out of your way to find the women to join your team by complimenting them, connecting with them, and then ripping off the Band-Aid and asking if they're open. But until you've built a relationship,
build rapport with people.
Someone, build rapport and really get to know who they are and know their kids' names, know where they've, what they do for a living, and then really find out if they can connect to your story. I don't just go randomly ask people to join my team because I don't want anybody randomly on my team.
Right.
I don't need a million people on my team to build a six-figure income. I need 3 people just like me that want to build this thing. Number 3 is complement and connect, and really connect with your audience to find if they're your ideal client, right? Are they people you would want to work with or invite to your home? If not, don't ask them to be on your team. Please don't.
I love it. Love it. With everything that you're doing and how far you've come from where you were, what major adversities have you had to overcome to get to where you are today?
I feel like in the industry of network marketing or direct sales, more than 80% it's women, right? Like, we as women, we run this industry. We definitely do. However, there are all men at the top. And I hate saying that, but there is. And maybe you don't know about it, but they're probably there.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of the things I had to go through in the industry was, being partnered with men that didn't respect me. There was, moments of sexual harassment that happened from an owner in one company. I walked away from a multiple six-figure income in a company and started all over again because I wasn't in alignment with the owner. I didn't
Right.
like or appreciate the way he talked about women. And I stayed in it for 2 years too long because I was afraid to walk away from that income, and I was afraid to
Mm-hmm.
start over, but I had to be in alignment with my beliefs and what I knew, and not bringing more women into a company with an owner like that. Like, I couldn't do
Mm-hmm.
that anymore. And so that was something that was big. But I think one of the most important things was I had to look at, if I pointed the finger at someone else, I had to have the fingers, the 3 fingers pointing back at me. It was really looking in the mirror and recognizing the things I needed to change about me, the things that I needed to start sharing, that was getting deeper than just making a buck. And that was scary. Sharing,
Mm-hmm.
like, who was I really? Sharing the ghetto twang that I have, right? Sharing that I'm not perfect, sharing that I've been, in domestic violence situations. I've had sexual abuse happen to me. Like, coming out with all of that kind of vulnerability is what built a brand, but also built a tribe of women that I could attract. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just like moments in my career of this industry of looking in the mirror. I think that's been the hardest for me, because I like to
I
act like I got it all together sometimes, right?
I found the women that I'm drawn to online are the women
Mm-hmm.
like yourself that are
Yep.
showing their vulnerable side, that have gone past that shame point, they've owned who they are, they've done the self-reflection work, and they're building on themselves. That inspires me more than the woman who's online pretending to be, this fake boss. I've got it all together, full ego,
Yeah.
I'm the
Yep.
ish.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not attracted to women like that at all. At
Hmm.
all. Not now. I was in the beginning. I think it's even hard for me. The biggest thing for me on Instagram right now was I just had a baby. And I found myself comparing myself to other women that were pregnant when I was pregnant, how much weight they gained, how much weight I gained. It's that social media fakeness that I want to kind of blow up, right? I just
Hmm.
want to, like, blow it all up. I want to reach out to these women and be like, stop looking so perfect. Stop always using filters. It's okay to
Hmm.
not wear makeup. It's okay to, forget to brush your teeth until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hashtag guilty sometimes, right? Like, it's okay. And the imperfections are what's important,
Hmm.
because the imperfections make us unique. And I think that part of social media, we can all debunk it. We can do it. We all just have to
Hmm.
just be ourselves more. So yeah.
I think that's beautiful. And I love when I see women like yourself just being an example of that, because you can say that that's what we want to see, but then we're not doing it.
Well, because we're
The
afraid, right? We're afraid of what other
exactly.
people are going to think. It's so ridiculous.
Exactly. Exactly. And for a while, I was actually guilty of the whole,
Yeah.
I'm going to say, the perception on Instagram,
Yes.
because people are used to seeing me all dolled up in stilettos,
Yeah.
dressed to the nines. And 2019 for me has been about healing physically,
Yeah.
emotionally, spiritually. Most of the time, 98% of the time, I'm in sweats, my hair is tied up, like I look a hot mess. So for a
Yep.
while, I was like, I'm not doing any Insta videos. Like, I'm not doing any videos. But I've come, like, especially doing this podcast and speaking to women like yourself, the whole realness of it, and just being fully accepting of who we are right now, where we are, and understanding how important it is for other women to see that, especially those that are looking to us for inspiration and guidance. When they see us in our real selves, like I did a couple videos this week of me in bed looking a mess. And the women that have messaged me like, oh my God, you know, you don't even need makeup. Oh my God, you know, this video was so inspiring. Thank you so much for posting this or whatever. But we don't realize who we're inspiring when
Yes.
we do that.
Right.
You
It's
never
so,
know
and
who's
like,
watching,
you never know, right? And here's the thing, something like that can save a life. I know that's like, whoa, taking it to the other extreme. And some of you that are listening to this
but it's
right now
true.
might be like, oh, she took it too far. But it's true, because I've been that girl who's looked in the mirror and thought those crazy thoughts. I've been that
Mhm.
girl that, you know, beat up on myself, that used to make myself throw up, that, you know, used to not eat. Like I'm broken. I still color, but I got that baggage. I'm broken, right? So who is that one woman that might come across that post that's like, look, it's okay to still be 35 pounds overweight and pregnant. I'm still, you know, sad about it. I still hate it. I'm still looking at my body differently, but at least I'm saying it out loud.
Mhm.
So this way it can inspire hopefully one person to not
Mhm.
do something crazy, right? So we just
Mhm.
have to keep doing it. But it took me a while. Listen, Instagram stories are rough when you don't have it all together, because then, you know, you watch it back when you're making it all look good and you're like, do I really want to post this? And I've learned to just do the Mel Robbins 5 4 3 2 1 and go.
Yes,
And
that's
so that's what
exactly what
I've
I
been
do.
doing, right? Same thing. So I'm right there with you, girlfriend. I still don't. I don't like what I look like without makeup on. I'm going to be real. I'm like, oh, you know, but whatever. We got to do it. We just got to rip it off.
Yeah, when I make my Insta story videos, if I watch it back, I probably won't post it. So a couple times
Yep.
I've made videos and I'm like, "Oh, I don't like that it looks." So now it's make the video, hit share. Don't even watch it.
Yes.
It's
Don't
out
even
there.
watch it.
It's
Just
real,
make
it's
it. Just
authentic.
do it.
That's me.
Just do it. Just do it. Right.
What advice would you give a woman who wants to work from home, building her business and take care of her family, and she's afraid to make that leap and leave her 9 to 5?
You know, I would say one of the things that I've learned, and even in, you know, when I'm training or coaching my clients, or I'm, you know, training my network marketing team or training another network marketing team, or is that quitting your 9 to 5 will happen, but don't think about that's what you want to happen, right? Our end goal should always be impact over anything else. That's first and foremost, impact over profit. Like I preach that.
Mhm.
But look at your online business, whether it's network marketing or something else, as additional income instead of replacing income. I think this has become a big part of why in America people are in so much debt, why moms are living off credit cards, right? Like we have the wrong mindset in America where it's
Mhm.
replace our income with another stream of income. How about get an additional
Multiple.
stream of income, multiple streams of income,
Mhm.
not multiple network marketing companies, but multiple streams of income, because that's how millionaires become millionaires. It's not from
Exactly.
one stream of income. And so
Exactly.
I look back at when I quit my 9 to 5. I wish I wouldn't have just yet, right?
Mhm.
I wish I
Mhm.
wouldn't have done that just yet. I wish I would have waited a little bit longer. I wish when I had started my meal plan company, because I owned that. When I started making 6 figures in my network marketing business, why did I get rid of my meal plan company? I could have just put people in place of what I was doing to
Right.
give myself more time to do something else. That could have been, I could have kept that 3,000 or 2,000 a week that I was
Mhm.
making from that company, and I could have had more people employed and maybe making an impact for them. And then when I had my coaching business, you know, that's extra, right? So I want to tell you, if you have a fear quitting your job or your 9 to 5 to do your online business, then don't.
Mhm.
But don't also use that as an excuse of why you're not building your online business, your online brand, or your network marketing business, because that isn't why. Most of the
Right.
time we think it's because we don't have more time. That's why we're not successful in X, Y, or Z. It's because we're not prioritizing our time. That's why we're
Yep, we're
not
not
successful
managing
with
it.
X, Y, or Z. Exactly.
Yep. Yep. I think a lot of people who work a 9 to 5 and want to pursue any side hustles, their excuse always seems to be like, I don't have any time. But
Hmm.
you have,
Yeah,
if you don't calculate the hours that you're at work and you don't calculate the hours that you need to sleep, you still have an extra 70 hours a week. You're only at
always.
work 40 hours. You have
Yep.
more time to build your
Hmm.
side hustle. But most people, when they come home from their 9 to 5, they want to watch TV or their favorite show, or they want to, hang out at a bar, or they want to, scroll on social media. Like if you're managing your activities, you have way more time than you realize.
Yeah.
It's what you choose to do with that time.
It's becoming more aware of where you're wasting your time. There's a really cool exercise that I have my team do, and I do it once a month with them, and then I do it with my clients and with my healers too. I'm like, listen, if you sat down for 2 days and you documented and journaled everything that you did, you would be surprised on the time that you're wasting that you could be spending on your
Hmm.
business. If you're watching a show or you're, Netflix and chill, I don't even know what that is. Let me just keep that real with you guys. Like, I don't even know what Netflix and chill is, because to me, it gives me anxiety. Like binging on something, I did
Hmm.
it with Game of Thrones, and honestly, I felt dirty after I did that. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to tell anybody I did this, because I was like, all that time I wasted. Your time is more valuable than anything. So
Hmm.
when you can figure out where you're wasting your time, figuring out what you're worth, and you're not worth what you're getting
Yes,
paid an hour right now at your job. That I can promise you. When you figure out
exactly.
your worth, how much money you want to be making a year, and then you divide that by the hours, and then you times that by a number. I don't remember what it is. I think who does that? I think John Maxwell did a training like that you could probably Google to figure out what you're worth. And then you times that by the amount of time you're wasting in a day that you journal just those 2 days. It'll make you sick to your stomach to where you'll never waste time again. So I
Yeah.
have my team do that exercise every single month to remind them why they don't want to waste time. Again, you cannot get time back. This is what happens. We're so programmed, again, with the America. You go to school you go to school, right? You get your degree, and then you work a 40-hour work week, and that's 40-hour work week, and that's what you're worth. It's not true. You're used to
Hmm.
getting paid for every hour you work, where when you're building an online business, when you're building a network marketing business, you're not getting paid that hour. You're not getting paid the
Right.
linear income. It's passive. It's residual. It takes time to build. So you've got to kind of let go and shake yourself out of that thinking. And I would empower and encourage every single one of you to do this exercise, figure out where you're wasting your time and what you're worth, because you'll look at building a business online or anywhere just completely different.
Completely, completely. Like my third book is actually, it's a gratitude journal. And in the morning you're supposed to write down, what you're grateful for, what you're going to focus on for
Mm,
the day and your affirmations. But in the evening, one of the things that it asks you to do is you have to write down the two things that you wasted time on today. And
mm,
I realized after maybe like 3 days, I kept writing social media, social media, social media. So it
yeah,
forces you to say, okay, well, what am I going to improve on tomorrow? And I'm now conscious of the time that I spend on social media, because if I'm writing every single day in my journal that I've wasted time scrolling on social media, well, hello.
yeah.
So it helps you to, point out where you're wasting time or what you're wasting time on.
And here's the cool part too. That's going to give you more time with your children. And I
Mhm.
know that a lot of women that are maybe right now building their side business or online brand, your husbands are probably looking at you cross-eyed, because what do they want? They want your attention, right? I'm gonna say this, and I'm in the other room, so he can't hear me, but they're like another child. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you have to really make sure it's, again, prioritizing your time and not taking away from the most important things in your life, which are your kids, your spouse, and your family. So if your
Yes.
spouse is looking at you crooked, it's because your time is not prioritized. Unless he's just not the one for you, or she's not the one for you, or whatever, then
Mhm.
you gotta look at your situation maybe. But I'll say 90% of the time, or maybe 95% of the time, I'll give them that much. It's probably because we're wasting time in so many areas, and we're not prioritizing what's most important in our life.
So, speaking of prioritizing and what's most important, when you're a mom and a wife and you're running a business and you're building systems and you're helping inspire other women. How do you nurture Marina? What is your self-care routine?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it. I have to be completely 100 and honest with you guys. This was something that when I was raised, I wasn't raised of, going consistently to a doctor and going consistently to a dentist and going consistently for self-care. I wasn't raised that way, and it wasn't necessarily on purpose. It's just kind of like old school Italians. Everybody takes care of everybody else but themselves, right? So I had to reprogram. Plus, there was, again, self-worth issues. So it was always codependency. How can I look at taking care of others so I didn't have to look in the mirror what I needed to take care of for me? And it was almost I don't think I deserved it. So that was a big struggle health-wise for me. I was always the skinny girl, so I looked healthy, but I really wasn't. I didn't take care of myself at all. And I would throw myself into work. So I didn't have to pay attention to me. So, and sometimes I can get thrown back into that. So just as much as I have a DMO for my business, I have a DMO for my health. And I think getting pregnant put the spotlight on having to take care of my body because there was a baby inside of me. So it actually helped catapult taking care of myself a little bit more. So I have a schedule. I have an eating schedule. How funny, right? So I don't forget to nurture my body. If my body's not nurtured, my brain isn't nurtured, I'm not going to be creative. And so that is the first and most important thing. I have my green shake. I believe in getting greens. That's as far as I go. I'm not the person that goes to Whole Foods and takes shots of wheatgrass. That's gross to me. But I do have a green shake because, I think it's important for us to have veggies in our body. I make sure every 2 hours I'm eating something so I can keep my metabolism moving. If my metabolism is moving, then, my body's going to be healthy, and I'm, all that good stuff. I'm making sure I'm drinking close to a gallon of water a day. Water is a big piece. So that is the health piece of it. I pamper myself and reward myself for a great week. I don't focus on what I could have done better as much as I focus on the small wins that I had. Hey, I brushed my teeth before 2. That's a win. It should be celebrated with a pair of high heels. No,
yes.
But I do, not right now because, again, my feet are super swollen and I still cannot fit in my high heels right now, and it's so sad. But once a week, I would buy myself a new pair of high heels. And that was the way I said, congratulations for surviving a week of being a mom and having a business. And all the clients that you work with, that have their stuff going on, congratulations on surviving. Once every 2 weeks, getting a massage and allowing myself to shut down on the weekends has been huge. Getting out, getting that vitamin D.
Yeah.
And laying by the pool or going to the beach.
Oh, well, you're blessed. You live in Florida.
Yes. Let me just be clear. I live in South Florida. I don't know why nobody else lives here, but y'all living in that snow, I feel so bad for you. Okay. You should not be living in no snow. What else? I mean, and making time for friends so I can have conversations with women that are not in my type of business that I can connect to and just hear what's going on in their lives, even though my brain will always switch to marketing and I have to turn that off. Just connecting with people that are not in my business as well and not in my type of business, that just connecting with them and my friends, having fun, all that kind of stuff is really important because we have to switch off being a mom. We have to switch off being a marketing guru or a business or whatever business is that you're running. You have to switch that off sometimes and just be. Can be self-care as well.
I love it. I love that you have all of these different systems in place for yourself, for your children, for your husband, for your business. It's probably why you're so successful at what you do, because you have systems in place. You have things to help keep you sane. So thank you for sharing all of those.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Anything to help a mama get 5 more minutes of is awesome for me.
So I read this article, and I ask this question every episode. I read this article that basically says that your favorite type of shoe says a lot about your personality. And so far, it has been completely on point, which is mind-blowing to me. And I think I already know your answer to this. But my question to you, Marina, is what is your favorite type of shoe? Is it a boot, a running shoe, a flat, a flip-flop, a stiletto, a wedge, a mule? What's your favorite type of shoe?
Oh, it's an absolute stiletto all day, every day. my mom actually, funny thing, my mom, when she gave birth to me, was wearing fuzzy high heel, like the cutest pink fuzzy high heel slippers, but they were the cutest ever. So I was made to have a brain with high heels in it. My
I
mom used
love
to
it.
wear high heels with her bathing suit when we would go places. So I grew up with high heels being forefront, but I love myself stilettos. Now I'll wear wedges, don't get me wrong, but if I had to choose, stilettos all the way.
Okay, so women who love stilettos are incredibly hardworking. They have major drive, determination, and standout work ethic. This is someone who says yes before she says no. She's very willing and very open to possibilities. She also really loves and values beauty, so she surrounds herself with beauty, whether it is things, people, or how she lives. It doesn't always have to be expensive, it just has to be pleasing to the eye.
I mean, duh. How insane. That's so incredible because it's so true. Like everybody's like, "Oh, you have your red bottoms." I'm like, I own like 4 pairs and I don't have to buy. I order from Shoe Dazzle. Okay, my shoes could
Yeah.
be $9.99 as long as they look good. I don't care. I love
That's
that.
right. That's right. That's right. Wow, love it. Okay, so before we go to the final segment of the show, I want you to tell everyone where they can stay connected with you online.
Absolutely. So the best place is really just connecting with me on Instagram, which is my handle is at Marina and Simone. Ann is ANN and Simone is SIMONE. And or my website is kind of just there. I don't really use it that much, but momsandheels.com. I mean, if you want to go there you can, but I'm all about the IG.
All right. So I will make sure that I have both your website and your Instagram handles in the details below the podcast so they can just click and connect with you directly.
Awesome. I love it.
So for the next segment, I call it a walk in her stilettos, where I just ask a couple of reflection questions and you say the first inspiring thing that comes to mind.
Awesome.
I am going to start with name a book that has changed or greatly impacted your life.
Absolutely. So, I mean, for my industry and network marketing, one of the most impactful books for me was a book by Lisa Jimenez, Don't Mess with the Princess. And
Mm.
it was the first book that gave me permission to basically walk in my shoes, right? To walk
Mhm.
in my stilettos, girl,
Mhm.
and be who I was and allow myself to dream bigger. So that was a book that was just empowering for me, and I love her, and it's so funny how we got connected. So that's number one.
Love it.
Number two is a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And this can be applied to any business. It doesn't have to just be network marketing, but it's really about how over time things compound. And
Mhm.
so when it comes to your business, it might seem like the smallest little thing that you're doing isn't making a big difference. Or, stop drinking soda doesn't mean anything tomorrow or even in 30 days, but 12 months from now, the small little impacts or small little things that we do have a very big impact at the end of the 12 months. So I think that's a very impactful book as well.
Love
Did
it.
you ask me for three? Did you ask me for
Nope,
three?
nope. I only asked for one, but
Okay.
thank you for two.
Okay, good. I was like, those two were like the most important because I feel like they made the most impact in my life.
Okay. What failure has taught you the most about life?
Wow. I've had so many. Let's see. Which one do we want to choose? The biggest failure, I think for me, it was feeling like I failed at being a mom.
Mm,
I think that's
the
been the
mom
most
guilt.
impactful for me. The mom guilt, but I did fail for a minute. When I first became successful in network marketing and I was making multiple six figures, I was traveling all the time. And so I walked away from multiple six figures to start over. One, because of that CEO, but also because I was never home and I missed my daughter's first day of kindergarten. And that's not why I chose network marketing. I chose it because I
Mhm.
had missed her first steps and I actually missed something again. So I failed as a mom. I had lost sight. I let the money control my brain for a minute. This was in
Mhm.
2014 and I had to yank myself out of that. So I did. I failed as a mom, not necessarily on purpose, but I had to kind of remind myself the impact I wanted to make in this world for moms and
Mhm.
why I stepped into network marketing. And so that was a moment of a light bulb. It was almost a aha. It was God
Wow.
slapping me across the face and being like, "Yo, this is not why you do what you do." So that was a big moment for me in 2014.
I think that's a reason why it's essential to have a why that is bigger than
Mm-hmm.
money. because it
Yeah,
centers you. It brings you back. Anytime you stray too far, you have something pulling you back to your core values.
exactly.
Name one of the most worthwhile investments you've ever made. That could be money, time, energy.
The biggest investment was knowing that it was okay to invest back into myself. And financially, it was definitely a big investment when I first joined like my first mastermind, right? But that's not what I look at. I look at when I put myself in the room where I was the smallest income earner.
Hmm.
That's the best investment that I keep making over and over and over again. Because when you invest in yourself, you can take that and you can turn that into more dollars, right? Like the rich dad,
Yes.
poor dad, they need, right?
Hmm.
But what it also did is it created a vision for me that's so big. The impact I want to make with women, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. So I'm still working on it. So I haven't really shared too much about it, but I'm going to be working more down here in South Florida with opening a women's center for the mentally
Nice.
ill, like mental illness and addiction, dual
Hmm.
diagnosis, where moms can come and get help for free, but they're also going to
Wow.
learn the skill set of how they can take their story, turn around, not only monetize that on it, but make an impact on it. So that's a big goal of mine that I have. But if I wasn't invested in masterminds, right, where
Hmm.
I am the least income earner in the room, I wouldn't have learned about that impact, because these people that are making millions and millions and millions, they turn around and impact with that finance,
Right.
with that money, right? So I would say that's the biggest investment that I've made,
Wow.
that I've been so grateful for.
That's powerful. Wow. Okay. Last question. What new belief, behavior, or habit has improved your life in the last 5 years?
I would say being more intentional with my time and what I do with my time. So, like Tom Brady just posted this the other day. I'm a Patriots fan, if you guys are wondering. You're welcome. Um, but he said it's like the habits that we form is who we become, right? So I've been very, and I don't want to say it's the last 5, I would say really intentional the last 3 with where I spend my time, who I spend my time with, how much time I spend with certain people, and how much time I spend on certain things in my business, right? So it's all time related. And that has become a habit for me that has kept me sane, has
Hmm.
kept me focused, keeps me balanced as much as possible, because I have mental illness. So I have to make sure, like I am bipolar, so I have to make sure that I am structured. So it
Hmm.
helps me stay on point, and it also helps me be a better person, be a better mom, be a better wife, be a better mentor, all of those things. When we're more intentional and on purpose with anything in life, we can make a bigger impact and we feel better. So
Yes.
I think, long-winded answer, but there you go.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marina, for sharing your story with us, for leaving us with all of those gems. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You've inspired me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I'm so grateful, and I'm just so grateful there's more women like you and me out there, and we can inspire one person to, make an impact. Why not? So thank you again for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And to all of our listeners, until next time, download the A Walk in My Stilettos app and subscribe to our newsletter at awalkinmystilettos.com. And we want to hear from you. If you've not shared your feedback just yet, we want to know your thoughts. Go to iTunes, rate the podcast, subscribe, and leave a review. What did you think about what Marina had to say? What gems did she leave you with? How did she impact you? What do you have to add to the conversation? Let us know. We want to hear from you. Feel free to screenshot this episode and tag Marina and myself and let us know how it's impacted you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and continue to walk in greatness in your stilettos in a manner worthy of your calling.